So, I spent all weekend. I looked at you guys' comments. I looked at your links. And I looked at the guys you recommended me. And I found Eric Dubay. And I gotta hand it to him. That guy he just doesn't understand, like, the universe. Like, he doesn't. Alright, look. He didn't get it. He asked all the same questions that I asked when I was like 6. And nobody was there to give him the fucking right answers. So he started just making shit up. Right? Like, that's just it. He just started making shit up. And you guys just follow along with the shit that he made up. And you turned a thing into it, right? Now look. Talked about fucking flat earth for a week. And I got a lot of questions about flat earth and flat earth related stuff. We're going to throw all those out, because we're not talking about flat earth today, right? We're going to talk about the other question I got more than flat earth related shit. Which was, why the fuck are you talking about flat earth? Here's the thing. Why did I spend an entire week on flat earth videos? This is why. I wasn't looking at flat earth. I was looking at leftism. Right? It occurred to me that many of the comments that I was getting, followed by the responses to the comments that I made, they were a lot like arguing with leftists. Sorry if that fucks you up, but it was a lot like arguing with leftists. You know, I say some shit, and then they fucking go into how I'm calling my subscribers dumb, and this, that, and the other thing, and you just don't understand, you gotta do your research. All the same shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I didn't get it. And then I started going, look, this is what's going on. And it was, oh man, you just gotta do your research. And I'm like, what the fuck? And the more I talked about it, it was like the more ingrained it got. The more resistance there was to everything. And I'm just sitting there going, I don't even know what the fuck to say to this. And so I started to really think of it. You know, maybe leftism is just a different strain of the sickness, right? I think the sickness is far more broad than women. I think I'm going to design, I think the sickness is just going to involve kind of this sort of mindset. And I started to understand it a lot more. I got it. I got you guys after a while. I understand the psychology at play here. What it is, and feel free to disagree with me in the comments, I'm sure you will. But what it is all your life you had heard that the world was a certain way. That people were ultimately good. That the earth was round. And that, you know, nature just decided what gender you were appropriately. And then one day you find out that somehow Donald Trump got elected. And some guy told me some shit and made it sound really sensical, even though it's totally nonsensical. So I'll believe him. And doctors just tell you what gender you're supposed to be at birth. They assign it to you. But you could be whatever you want. Right? And all these people laughed when the leftists went crazy. And laughed at the flat earthers. And laughed at the transgender activists. We laughed at them. We poked fun. And we laughed. We had a grand old time doing it. And it didn't, like, the ridicule and the laughter didn't fix anything. The leftists just became more leftist, and more people started becoming leftist, and we just started trading players at this point. Like, we're just kind of in the middle now. And the flat earthers they just sink even more. They just go no, and then that's it. Like, I did the thing about the yo-yos, and maybe I got the mechanism wrong. Maybe I didn't actually look at the mechanical drawing of the fucking thing, but yo-yo D-spin, man, look it up. Don't tell me that the fucking shit just doesn't work. Like, but I had so many people that are just like, no, what do you mean parabolic equation? We're not using a parabolic equation. Yeah, you are. X equals y squared. What do you think drop equals 8 times mileage squared is? X equals y, which would be the sum of 8 times mileage squared. It's a parabolic equation. Like, look up parabolic equations. So, yeah. It's how you graph out a parabola. Yeah, like, and they just go, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about, and that's the problem. You need to educate yourself. And the people, the leftists, the ones that hate Trump, they need to accept that no, Donald Trump is not going to bring in the fourth fucking Reich. Like, it's not happening. So, not gonna happen. Like, I just don't, it ain't that fucking bad. Like, just suck it up. It's 8 fucking years. We dealt with it through Obama. You apologizing to her and fucking all that. You didn't build this. Dude, all that shit. And we went, we'll be able to decide in another couple years. Look what happened. And now you guys are making it worse. Now we want to pick worse than fucking Donald Trump. It's all in what your golden calf is, and whether you are willing or not to actually listen to the other side and look at it objectively. Remove the cognitive dissonance. That's really what it is. It's cognitive dissonance. You find out the world is one way, and then it winds up not being that way. So you just kind of go, I'll just make it up as I go along then. Alright? And now we've got an impeachment trial going on because everybody just decided to make it up as they went along. And all the flat earthers believe the earth is flat because they just decided to follow this dude who just made it up as he went along. And now they have compelled speech in Canada. Cognitive dissonance. That's what I spent a week studying. You might not have caught on to it. I only dropped little hints here and there. At one point when I called them science deniers, and I said they're no better than the transgender activists. Right? little clues I threw in here and there. You might have caught them, but that's what I was exploring: cognitive dissonance, and just kind of the leftist way of arguing. The just denial, followed by the anger, with just more denial. Like, I thought maybe, since it was such an absurd topic and so easy to prove yourself. I watched a dude, he took a bicycle and 2 sticks that he had modified to be sundials, right? And he had him and his buddy, they got some walkies, and his buddy set up the one sundial in one place, and then they flew to Saskatchewan. They flew there, and one dude, like, there's this road in Saskatchewan where it's like 100 miles or kilometers, whatever, and it's all just like flat road. Right? It's like the flattest, no topography to it at all, right? And so dude set up the one sundial in one place, the other guy rode his bicycle. Fucking 180 kilometers or what, 18, something like that. I don't fucking remember what it was. And he set up his sundial. And then they waited for the sundial to be along a tape measure that they had laid out on the sundial. And then they said, okay, take your measurement now. And they both marked their fucking thing. And the one was shorter than the other. Which doesn't happen on a flat earth. Period. So, like, there you go. Like, that's your fucking thing. Like, and he was he did a whole bunch of sidewalk chalk math and calculated the circumference of the earth and came to within like 17%, I think. And I guess the guy that discovered this method of doing this 2,000 years ago, he came to within like 16% accuracy. So this dude with his modern technology and walkie-talkies and a buddy and doing it at the same time and shit, like the guy 2,000 years ago, he literally sent his fucking assistant to go and pace off 800 kilometers from one city to Alexandria and then do the fucking sundial experiment, and they figured it out to better than this other guy did, right? So, but I figured it was such an absurd topic and so easy to prove, even yourself, that surely I could break through, surely I could get in. But no, it was like the more I tried, the tougher it got. The more you push, the more resistance. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to kind of maybe rethink my approach in some things. Maybe in the videos where I kind of know I'm going to draw, the outside audience, maybe from here on out, I should soften my approach, be more kind of understanding, and try and get more of a discussion going about it than just kind of sniping back and forth. I guess I should treat every topic seriously, because you never know when you run into cognitive dissonance. And that becomes a problem, because that becomes a force shield that the more you push, the more resistance you get. So, I don't know. I might have to come up with some, like, tricky fuck psychological ways to, like, make you guys figure it out on your own. Right? Like, trick you into realizing it. And then you go, oh, fuck. It'll be like, you don't have to say anything to me. Just stop saying the crazy stuff. You don't have, like, because I get it, man. Like, I get it. At this point, I get it. I understand it. Because I really looked at the reasons why, this guy was able to convince people. He's very convincing. Look up Eric Dubay. If you want to really kind of sit there and go, huh, and have to actually, like, think about things for a minute. Like, that's what it is. It's his videos are all, if you're really, 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 really boned up on astrophysics, you'll watch his videos and just laugh your ass off. But if you're not really boned up on astrophysics, if you kind of know a little bit, if you know, like, grade school, high school level shit, you'll watch his videos and be like, like, he really makes you think about shit. Because he kind of does it in a fucked up, I don't know. I don't want to say that he's being, like, purposefully manipulative with it. I don't think he's trying to start a cult or anything like that. I think he seriously had questions. And I think he knew enough about the subject to be dangerous. And he had enough of an ability to just kind of be charismatic in his way of describing things that he's very convincing. So if you don't really know what the fuck he's talking about, and you're not really thinking about it except the way he's describing it, it's very easy to kind of be like, huh. And you really have to kind of think about it. But then I went and looked at the answer. Dummy me, I didn't just start figuring it out myself. I went and looked up the answer. So there you go. I did my research. You know, that's how you do that. See, like, I don't think any of that shit's gonna work. Like that, again, force. I don't know how to do it. I'm gonna have to try and figure something out. Maybe I gotta start being manipulative. Maybe I gotta start my own cult. Fucking dirty up your brains a little bit. I'm gonna do the unwashing your brains cult. We're gonna unwash your brains. Your brains are also sparkly and clean. We need to muddy that shit up a little bit, I think. We need to fucking knock you all in the dirt. No. Because that, no. We know that doesn't work. We see it every time there's a shooter that winds up being politically motivated. We see that that shit does not work. Again, that's a lot of force. That's getting a lot of resistance. No. That is improper, the way to deal with it. No, I seriously think trying to get them into like actual conversations and try and like, I don't know, like psychology I think is going to have to come into. We're going to have to get psychiatrists to actually fix them. They're going to have to do a lot of that. Well, what do you think that means? Type of shit. You know what I mean? It's going to have to be a lot of, well, and then that would make you think that. I don't know. But, you know, this is my think tank for leftist studies, which now I think I'm just going to say leftist behaviors until I can come up with a more my think tank for the study of cognitive dissonance. There we go. That sounds like a really good name. Hopefully I actually have the right term there, cognitive dissonance. I think I do. I have to look that up. But I sounded good up until this point, right? Like, now we're getting to the end of the video. Nobody's watching anymore, so I can just kind of fucking... Alright, yeah, I think I'm pretty well petered out on this. But yeah, that's what I was doing for a week. I was examining that mindset and seeing if I could rationalize my way through it. Because I figured, you know, if I could come up with a cure for Flat Earth, maybe I can come up with a cure for Orange Man Bad. You know, because like the arguing methods were so similar. I'm not saying that flat earthers are like leftists. I'm not saying that they're like that. They're totally different beliefs. One believes the earth is flat. The other one believes that the president is literally Hitler. Right? Like they're totally different fucking things. But the way they argue is the same. So I figured maybe if I could break through with a flat earther and get him to listen to me, maybe I could just use the same tactic, you know, in the political world. And then I figure, you know, I'd become very famous. Because I'd be the guy turning everybody, you know, to fucking the middle, at least, again, hopefully. And, you know, then I'd be on the news and shit, and everything would blow up, and it'd be really great. And then somebody would assassinate me. And then maybe I'd finally get some fucking sleep.